Hey y'all, can't believe how hot it is out here in the middle of May. I took a little break for some fishing to tell you all about a rig I talked about when I first started doing these videos. And I understand that very few people are going to pay attention to this, but this is really a cool rig for spawning bass, and then it's a redo for summertime bass. I call it the DW rig because everybody names stuff after somebody, so I call it DW rig, and what it is a version of a drop shot that I came up with, as far as I remember, right here on this lake in 1983. Spawning bass is what I started out with it because I was having a hard time keeping the bait in the nest without pulling it back out, wind moving me around, whatever. And I remember coming to the idea one day because I'd been catfishing with this kind of rig where the bait is free from the weight, but backwards what most people think. So what I did was, and what I still do to this day, is I rig this bait up for spawning fish, wherever that bait may be. A tube is what I've got here on a 3/0 hook. We've got about a 1/2 ounce weight, 6 inches below it. So I put that bait past the nest, bring the weight into the nest and stop, and I can move the bait a bunch without moving it out of the nest. I can move it a few inches, do it again. This is stirred bottom a little bit, and this is up there in her face, and it's an amazing bait for spawning bass. The problem I'm having today is I come up in this creek, because usually the water's pretty clear up in here. It's not clear enough for me to be able to see beds clearly and see the bass clearly. And this spawn stuff's going to be over pretty quick, so I wanted to go ahead and fill you in on this thing. Maybe I'll get something out of this. So a 1/2 ounce weight. This one's rigged about 6 inches below that tube, okay? And I brought 2 of them today, set up to fish with. A white one, again a 4-inch tube, and I probably got 11 inches, maybe 12 inches between that one. Just give me a couple angles of the dangle kind of difference. So a 1/2 ounce weight tied below your bait allows you to put the bait into the strike zone and leave it there for longer amounts of time. It works so well, and I really wish I could find some clear water and some, because the bass are spawning. I'm catching bass, not tremendous, but I'm catching bass on the nest today. And I don't know, maybe the day's not over. Of course, now it's clouded up, the wind's bad. Even if I found a nest, well, I've seen a few beds, but I can't find a fish on them. I just, I don't have fancy enough glasses, or it's just too hard for my old eyes to see. Okay? Now, baits, I use that tube a lot. It does not, I like the bright colors because I like to be able to see the bait. And spawning bass respond very well to colors. They seem to like bright colors. Another bait I throw some. I had one here a second ago. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. I love a lizard for spawning bass, and that orange lizard is a really good bait to use. You do not have to use that on spinning gear. I set it up on spinning gear today because that's just kind of an old habit. With that 1/2 ounce weight, you can use a medium casting rod and do the same thing. Then the other use for my DW rig, again, it's just a different kind of drop shot. I started doing 83 on this lake right here for spawning bass. And I remember using that year several places, but then come summer, it was about 91 or 92. The bass were really deep, Lake of the Ozarks, in brush piles, and catch them with big worms and a jig. And I had the thought, when you're out there fishing them baits in that deep water and you're thumping around that brush, and it's kind of a thing where you bounce in the boat, and you come up, a rod goes down, you had a fish. So I took a 3/4 ounce weight and put about 1.5 foot below my big plastic worm, and it's tremendous how much better you feel the bait, the action you can give the bait, and all you do is fish that sinker through the brush piles. So it's effective in 40 foot of water that year, a lot of 20, 25 foot of water and deeper, and it would be an effective finesse. Oh, wait a minute, that's a drop shot. I'm going to use it for spawning bass. I'm going to use it in the deep brush piles. That's all I got. I wish I could show you. It's so much better to do a video and show people. But I know that makes sense to folks. So I'm going to get back to fishing. Rest in the back, it's freaking hot. Now the sun's went away, or maybe I'm getting blind. No, I think the sun got behind some clouds. The fish are biting. I'm catching them. No big ones. Seen some bigger ones because they're spawning. They're weird. We'll talk at you guys later. Thanks to y'all that do watch. Appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing. We'll talk at y'all later.